Yo, what it do, Hustle Nation? You asked for it, here it is, man. We're talking credit, cryptocurrency, and cash flow with one of the hottest influencers on the entire internet, Miss LaTanya DeLoach, aka Queen of Credit. Super excited that you guys have decided to come hang out with your boy. Do me a favor, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Just don't share any links. And buckle up and hold on tight, because you, my friend, are going to be in for a long ride. And if you watch the show all the way to the end, you're going to discover the basics and understand the rules of cryptocurrency, but you're going to also understand how to invest, why you should invest, how to prepare yourself to invest, and if it's a good fit for you. So again, comment in the chat where you're from, the name of your business and or your brand. Show some love to my special guest, LaTanya DeLoach, Queen of Credit, and get your questions ready, man. Go ahead and start putting them in the comments right now. What are your questions on credit? What are your questions on cryptocurrency? And we're going to talk about this little known thing that nobody seems to be focusing on, but it's the most important thing when it comes to your money, and that is cash flow, man. How is your cash flow? So without further ado, man, we're just going to go ahead and get the show started. Let's do it. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. And listen, if you are an entrepreneur and you're trying to go to the next level, I would not be doing my job if I didn't tell you about the Monetize My Life Academy Mastermind community. Yes, we mastermind once a month where you can connect with me and other hustlers from all industries, learn best practices, understand how to take your business digital, because that's what it is. It's a digital marketing mastermind. You have one free course every single month on a digital marketing topic like YouTube, Facebook ads, email marketing, all of that stuff. You get one group coaching session. We go in 2 full hours every month on a particular topic. This month, we're talking about homepage cash machine. How do you turn your homepage of your website into a cash machine? The course of the month was YouTube authority, how to become an authority on YouTube. And then you also get a one-on-one coaching session with yours truly, so I can help you put and implement the actual strategies in your business, guys. And you wouldn't believe it. And my team is on me about this price, but all of that for just $27 per month. So if you would like to be a part of this mastermind, comment mastermind so that I can get on the phone with you, have a conversation. I want to make sure that it's a good fit for the both of us. Also, keep in mind that you can sponsor an episode, you can sponsor a segment, you can sponsor this show. All you got to do is comment sponsor, and I will connect with you. But man, I'm going to go ahead and move on to introducing our special guest. You guys know that we have question of the day. You guys also know that we will have the 1-minute motivation. But my guest for the day is somebody that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And as you guys know, if I don't respect your grind, you're not getting on this show. But this young lady, I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I've watched her just come into her own. There's nothing like seeing someone develop their voice and really start to understand how to connect with their community and deliver information that is transformative. And she is transforming lives all over this country. So let me introduce to some of you guys and present to others the Queen of Credit, my good friend, Miss LaTanya DeLoach. Top of the morning to you, Queen. How you doing?
Thank you so much. Good morning to you as well.
Hey, listen, tell everybody a little bit about how you got your start in this area of credit and why it's so important that people really look at those numbers, that credit score, and what they need to be doing to really transform their credit.
Okay, great. I got into this with credit repair because during my marriage, I was married for approximately 15 years. I did a lot of credit restoration repair for my friends and family, and in particular, my ex-husband, right? So we divorced, decided to go our separate ways approximately about 3 years ago. And I decided to take it to the public, to the forefront versus friends and family,
Mhm.
specifically my ex-husband, right? And so I did that, took it,
Welcome to the Cortez House.
began educating people on credit, but not in the form of being a consumer, right, of getting
Mhm.
liabilities, but to get cash flow, right?
Okay.
Consumer cash flow debt. Started with personal credit. You always take me to the next level when it's time to go, and you deem me as the queen of credit, right?
Yeah.
I have to give that honor and accolade to you. And I took the brand and began to run with it and to help people revision and look at their credit in a different way.
I love it. I love it. And let me just say this to my audience real quick. Uh, she took the moniker Queen of Credit, and I saw her doing her thing, and she jumped on one of my live streams, and I just shouted her out. I said, "Man, ain't nobody like this young lady. She is the Queen of Credit." But that's called personal branding. And I just want to give you guys a tip. You know, the Cortez Hustle Show is all about helping you take your hustle to the next level. You guys are watching this stream. Some of y'all are in business. I asked you to comment in the chat the name of your business and or your brand and where you're from for a reason. Yes, that's going to help me with the algorithm a little bit. But there's also 100,000 people following this page. You never know who might connect with you based on you putting the name of your business and or your brand in the chat. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave that right there. Because if you ain't shouting you out, I don't know who is. So, Queen, people have this, because there's so much information about credit, there's so much information about debt. Is it good? Is it bad? You listen to Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about, man, if you don't use the bank's money to build your empire, you crazy. Then you listen to somebody like Dave Ramsey say, but do everything that you can do to get out of debt. Stop, cut up your credit cards and all of this kind of stuff, man. Give the people your take on credit, debt, leveraging it to, like you said, create cash flow and build an empire for yourself.
My take is the medium average household income right now, a year annually, is approximately $35,000, right? And so when you have that median price of average household income, it is very easy for someone that's a multimillionaire to suggest to you to cut up your credit cards, right?
Mhm.
Be on a cash only system. And what a lot of people don't know or don't realize is that in 1971, the dollar became debt, right? Richard Nixon unpegged, or he disconnected the dollar from being connected to real money, constitutional money, which is gold, right?
Mhm.
And so the dollar became debt. And so when a lot of people are insinuating that I'm getting out of debt, you are really getting out of the debt-based system that is hard to get out of because of two things. Number one is that your taxes, you and I educate about that all the time, right?
Mhm.
When you earn income, specifically just in the form of a job, you're going to get taxed 30 to 20 to 30%, right? Or 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. So you may bring home 60 cents out of the dollar. That's the number one thing that keeps people in bondage. And number two is inflation. Inflation, the rising prices of your everyday goods and services. So now you're bringing home approximately 40 cents to 50 cents on the dollar. So what do you do when you have those two, I guess, intricacies or variables eating away at your dollar, right? It's like a rat that eats cotton, or the dollar is made of 75% cotton. So what you have to do is learn how to flip the script. Learn how to use the bank's money or other people's money, because you don't make enough money, right? And if you don't find a way to flip the script, you'll always live paycheck to paycheck, or as the famous Dr. Lynn Richardson says, paycheck to Monday means you get paid Friday, and by Monday you're broke again because you have to pay past your bills.
Absolutely, man. I love that paycheck to Monday. And one of the reasons it's paycheck to Monday and broke, because the first thing we do, because we've been well trained, is I get paid on Friday. And to remove stress from my life, I'm going to pay all my bills first. Right? And then whatever I have left, if I have any financial intelligence, then I'm going to try to invest a little bit. I'm going to try to save a little bit. But that's wrong, man. Help people understand what it means to pay yourself first. But before you answer that, I want to show my man some love. Mr. Nikhil Walker, HVAC contractor in Dallas, Texas. If you're in the Dallas, Texas area, you need to get with my man, Nikhil Walker, who's an HVAC contractor in the Dallas, Texas area. So talk to us really quickly on that particular topic.
Paying themselves first. Every time that you get paid, you should have a pie allocated to your bills, to your essential items, your groceries, what you need to survive, and also to yourself, right? And a lot of times people can't pay themselves because a big chunk of their pie is being taken out in the form of taxes, and they don't have the financial education or knowledge to know that they control their taxes, right? Your W-4 tells the government or the Federal Reserve exactly how much you want them to take out in form of taxes. And so they first have to identify the biggest stealers of their wealth, right? It's not their mortgage or their rent. It's not their vehicle. Now, I would debate that now, because they're financing vehicles for 6 years.
Right.
They're overpricing vehicles, even though you can position yourself for low interest rates, but by the time they pay them off in 6 years, it's time to get something else, another one. But you have to find a way to keep more of the money you make. And you and I teach these financial strategies to help people do that. So they won't be on the other victim or spectrum of having to use their credit just to survive financially.
Yeah, I love it. Real quick, Queen, we're going to go into a segment that I started last week, man. And listen, I forgot to give you guys the question of the day. The question of the day for today is, are you currently investing in cryptocurrency? Why or why not? And you probably gonna be surprised about my answer, but I'm gonna give you my answer later. But to answer question of the day, because I was in a conference all weekend long, so I didn't get to do the drawing for the free vacation, but I'm going to do that on this Wednesday. So anybody who's answered a question of the day from last week all the way up through Wednesday, you guys will go into a drawing, and I'm actually going to pull out somebody and give away a free vacation. But I need to know you're responding to the question of the day and not something else that we're talking about. So you always have to put in QOTD and then give your answer. So question of the day is, are you currently investing in cryptocurrency? Why or why not? So we do this segment, Queen, called the 1 minute motivation. And I'm just trying to get people in the habit of starting their day with something motivational, something mindset. Set your mind up for success every day. First thing I do when I get up, I'm laying flat on my back and I'm just giving thanks that I even woke up. I look over to my wife, she's breathing. So I'm like, thank you. My wife is alive this morning too, and my children and all that. So I give thanks. But then after I give thanks, I get myself dressed and I go work out in my basement and I put on my mindset motivation. because I got to renew my mind every single day. So we're going to play a 1-minute video, and then I'm going to get your takeaway. I'll give my takeaway. And if you guys want to comment or take away what you get, then that's super cool too. So let me get to 1-minute motivation for today, episode number 46 on the Cortez Hustle Show. Check it out.
Let me tell you something. If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you give for today? Forget that there was any sunlight left. What would you spend today thinking about? We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're going to do. Whatever legacy you're going to leave your legacy. And it's found through effort. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature. Now, because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre. There ain't no man in here okay with being just basic.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen. Start your day. How can you, Queen, hear that and not be fired up to go tackle your day? So give me one quick takeaway.
One takeaway from the video?
Yeah.
Just having your mental mindset ready, starting your day. And I even tell people whether it's credit, cash flow, crypto, whatever it is, right? Being thankful, just having that meditation moments in the very morning, the very part of your day will have you so much more productive for the 90% remaining of your day, right? So I love that motivational video.
Absolutely, absolutely. A couple things he said that I mean really stuck with me. He said, leave your legacy. Right. He also said, nobody can judge your effort, right? Effort is between you and you. And I think we get really caught up in what we think other people are thinking about us. And it's like, man, I tell people all the time, what other people are thinking about me is none of my business. It's none of my business. But then he also said, you should be pissed off for greatness, right? And some people don't like that phrase, pissed off. I'm gonna say it another way. You ought to be obsessed with becoming great. Right. Nobody on any high level of success got there without being absolutely obsessed. And sometimes we hear that word obsessed, and the way it's been used traditionally, it makes it sound like it's a bad thing to be obsessed or to be obsessing over something. But no, trust me, you are not winning if you are not obsessed. So let me see if anybody else had to chime in on that video. Trevor says, I say that too. What other people think about me is none of my business. So that was 1 minute motivation on the Cortez Hustle Show this morning, episode 46. And that 1 minute motivation was sponsored and brought to you by none other than the Queen of Credit, Miss LaTanya DeLoach. Give them your website real quick.
My website is www.fixmycreditandcash.com.
Fixmycreditandcash.com. Princess says, thank you for all the valuable education and motivation this morning. Great way to start the week. That's what it's all about. So we talked a little bit about credit before we transition to cash flow, and you kind of hit on some cash flow things too. But before we transition a little bit more into cash flow, I want you to give the people, I try to do something actionable, right? Give the people 2 or 3 things that they could do this week that will radically improve their credit.
Radically. You know, we got FICO 10 in. So dramatically improve. One thing they can do if they have the excess or extra cash flow, you can start by paying your credit card debt down, right?
Yeah.
If you have high credit card debt ratio, meaning that your balance is kissing or meeting the credit limit. For example, you have a $5,000 credit limit, a $4,000 balance, pay that balance down, right? That would definitely increase and give you a boost to your credit score. Also, adding primary trade lines, right? Primary trade lines. Primary means that you as the individual own them. They're your primary trade lines, right? With people that have low credit scores, when I say low, if you're a 680 and below, especially if you're in the 400s or 500s, sometimes people need that primary trade line. They have credit cards, but they're $500, $1,000, maybe secured credit cards. So you need to begin adding primary trade lines. There's two that you can get: instant approval, no denial, beginning at $5,000 or more, right? So those are two things people can do to help boost and impact their credit scores immediately. The third thing, which probably should have been the first, is just look at your credit, right? Do you have, yeah, that should have been the first. A lot of people don't have credit monitoring in place. And when they do, they basically just have Credit Karma. And what a lot of people don't know is they can go right to Experian.com and get their credit monitoring, and Experian will also show them their, because there are different FICO credit scores, right? Credit Karma, you have your Vantage score. This is not what your banks and lenders use. So oftentimes people will go to their credit union or their banker and say, well, my Credit Karma score was this. And their banker or credit union will say, well, according to the model that we use, right, your score may be 100 points lower or 80 points lower than what you see on Credit Karma. Experian will provide you with the FICO 2 credit score, right? In the South where I am, that's for mortgage lending scores. With your FICO 8 credit score, that's often for automobile, vehicle financing approval, and also your FICO 9 credit scores, right? Which is usually for credit card approval. And so you can get all of these at no cost, right? No cost to them, and begin monitoring your credit from a FICO's perspective and not just Vantage score. And no cost to you, go to Experian.com. You first need to see where you are with your credit, to see if you can use your credit, where you can go with your credit to use your credit to leverage it to get assets. So
I love that. I love that. Yeah, you are so right. I'm trying to get people to understand there are some numbers that you should always know. Credit score is one of those numbers. Of course, you know your income. You should also know your debts, but not only your debts, the interest rates that you're paying on those debts, right? You should also know your debt freedom date, right? How long are you going to be in debt? Because remember this, guys, the money that you are paying in interest could be the same money that you could be earning interest on. So you want to know what your debt dates are and how long you're projected to be in debt and those interest rates. And when you look at that stuff and really look at it, it'll piss you off and make you want to start paying that stuff off faster.
Exactly.
And the last number you got to know is your cash flow. Can you talk real quick on the difference between income and cash flow? Because a lot of times people just have this confused. They're chasing more money. And sometimes a lot of people, believe it or not, even though medium incomes are low, especially in our community compared to other cultures, it's not always the income the problem, but more so the cash flow. So can you talk on that real quick?
I will. And I think different economists or people in this field probably will have different definitions or different terminologies for income and cash flow, right? Some may say is your income is based off how much you have coming in, right? And then how much your expenses are coming out, your income. And then others may look at cash flow, for example, as the amount of money, right, that you have flowing into you from your investments or assets, right? And so many may look at income as a one source of income, linear income, a job income, right? Others may look at cash flow as, do you have different sources of money flowing into you versus other than your job? I also look at cash flow personally as the money that I'm spending out. Will I be able to get that money back? Right? I tell people that the IRS says 475 times yes, right? Through hybrid entrepreneurship, that means I'm adding my job with a business. And if I add my job with the business, the IRS will tell me 475 times yes, that I can give you that money flowing back to you that you had flowing out or that you are spending, right? And so income for me really is people that depend on one type of income, one income flow. And 98% of the population, for them, that's through a job, right? Yeah. You can get cash flow back to you, again, by adding a business entity to your job. And you can get cash flowing back to you in form of assets. Now, one way that I love cash flow, for example, is through credit cards. When you have cash back rewards, credit cards, and you learn to use your credit cards like a debit card, right? That's passive income. That's passive income just by changing the methods in which you pay for your everyday goods and services and handle and managing it just as you would a debit card. And why I love that cash flow again is because it's not taxed.
Yes.
So when you have cashback reward credit cards, those are ways or strategies in order to create more cash flow into your life. So for me, cash flow is not just money coming into you in forms of multiple streams of income, right? Adding other components to your financial portfolio, but it's also getting money to come back to you that's flowing away from you. Now it's flowing to you.
Yeah, so you got to watch how it's flowing in and how it's flowing out. And there's a way, and you said this so eloquently, there's a way that you could put a boomerang on your dollars. So yeah, some of them went out, but some of them coming back, right? People really don't get that. And I want to just kind of give you some numbers to help them understand. If you got a $1,200 mortgage, you're going to pay that every month. You got the money in your budget for that. So why not pay it on a credit card and then take the money from your budget and pay the credit card back? Now you just earn anywhere from 1% to 5% cash back, depending on whatever card you're using. Another way that people could put boomerangs on their dollars is when they understand affiliate marketing, right? Every company in the world in 2021 has an affiliate program. Amazon being one of the largest places we shop at. If you haven't gone and set up your affiliate account with Amazon, so that every time you go to Amazon, instead of going straight to Amazon, you go through the link that they gave you, so that when you buy from Amazon, they're going to send you a percentage back, anywhere from 1% to 10%, sometimes 15%, depending on the item that you buy. That's called being a prosumer, right? We can be a consumer, or you can be a prosumer. What's the difference between an amateur and a pro? A pro gets paid. So since we are so good at shopping, Queen, why not get paid to shop, right? Because we are at professional level when it comes to shopping, but we're amateur in our approach, meaning we're not getting paid to shop. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all here to hear the queen talk about cryptocurrency, and we gonna go all the way in on cryptocurrency, but we got to take a quick break. Do me a favor, if you have not answered the question of the day, QOTD, and then give your answer. What is the question of the day? Are you currently investing in cryptocurrency? Why or why not? That's the question of the day. If you guys also have a question about credit, cash flow, or cryptocurrency, then put your questions in the chat. We're going to try to leave room for a little Q&A, but at this time, man, I got to go pay some bills. So y'all make sure y'all keep it locked right here.
Hey, good morning, wealth champions. Hey, listen, if you want to be financially successful, then you have to do what financially successful people do. And I know there's a few things that all wealthy people have in common. Number one, they understand that building wealth is a team sport. Number two, they understand the power of capitalism and business enterprise. Number three, they love to use systems and leverage. And number four, they all have mentors. My name is H Cortez, also known as Financial Health Mentor. And for the last 5 years, I've been helping hardworking Americans get all of these things in place with one single membership. If you want to learn more about that, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com. Again, that's myperfectmoneyplan.com. And you're going to get a team of professionals, so you're not building wealth by yourself. You're going to get a system that's going to help you transform your finances. And last but not least, you're going to get some great mentorship to help you execute your game plan. So again, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com, and I'll see you on the other side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, the one and only financial health mentor. And you are listening to and learning from my girl, LaTanya DeLoach, also known as Queen of Credit _ the Queen of Credit _ on IG. And always remember, guys, if you got a business, you got a product or service that you want to promote on the show, you can always sponsor the show. You'd be supporting me and getting this message out to more and more people. And you can get your product or service in front of over 100,000 people potentially if you decided to sponsor the show. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, Queen. They want to talk and hear about crypto. I have more requests. Wow. You know, that's not my thing. I don't, I've been watching the crypto thing, but when anything I talk about, I like to be well-versed in it. And I am not well-versed in the crypto conversation. So people have noticed that, Cortez, you've never done a show on crypto. I was like, hey, because I don't know nothing about crypto. But I know some people that I can turn to for that crypto conversation. So let me do a couple shout outs, and then we're going to get into this cryptocurrency conversation. Trevor says, what others think of me is none of my business. He spoke to you. Hey, LaTanya, look forward to taking some notes. Facebook user, when you are in our group, Wealth Creation Playbook, just always comment. Make sure your name is in your comment, because the way StreamYard and Facebook partnership is, they don't tell me your name. It just says Facebook user. But somebody says, look up David Goggins Cortez, please. I'm very familiar with David Goggins. This man has been Navy SEAL. He's been a Ranger. I'm very familiar with David Goggins, one of the self-proclaimed most badass men on the planet. So I'm familiar with David Goggins. Michelle Allen says, I've been using a credit card more so for security, but getting the cash back is genius. There's no reason not to do this. I'll give you one reason not to do it, Michelle. If your butt ain't disciplined, then don't do it. Because if you're going to pay your mortgage with the credit card and then take the money you would normally pay your mortgage and do something else with it instead of paying the credit card, you're going to get your butt in some trouble. Right. But no, it makes sense if you are disciplined. I actually set up Coinbase yesterday, and I'm setting up Binance today. I'm new to crypto, but my preliminary research says that Bitcoin is due for a correction. So I want to wait until it drops a little bit to jump in. All right. Well, sounds like a good place to start. LaTanya, Bitcoin, man, just exploded on us, right? So first of all, let's talk about what is cryptocurrency and why is it so important?
That's a great question to start with. Cryptocurrency is a transition, right, into the fourth industrial revolution. And I'll get into what I mean by that. In 2009, January 2009, Bitcoin was birthed. It came after the 2008 housing market crash, the recession. It was birthed because of the bad usage of credit, right? Because the bankers had given credit to people, predatory lenders, to purchase a home that they know that people could not afford, right? So Bitcoin was birthed out of that disaster in order to give people a more decentralized, and I'll break down what decentralized means. Well, it really means just being more free from the government control of credit, money, and finances to more of an independent control of a way to transaction and to do money. So that's the purpose of Bitcoin. So we have over 8,000 now cryptocurrencies in the space. And it's two things that I tell people to be familiar with. It's called decentralized finances and biometrics cryptocurrency, right? Decentralized finances and biometric cryptocurrency. We are not about to get into a financial reset, right? And so cryptocurrency is a way digitally, right? Everyone will have access to their smartphones. And you see it now, right? You see it now through Venmo, through Cash App, through Google Pay, through Apple Pay, through PayPal, right? That people can make transactions without peer-to-peer, without the connection or the need to depend on commercial banks, right?
Yeah.
Ask yourself this question, Ms. Cortez. If you had to transport money, a large sum of money, internationally, right? Internationally, what would be the quickest way to transport that money?
Yeah, if it was digital, right? If I can do it in my cell phone, I'm going to take my cell phone everywhere I go. So if I can bring that money with me via my phone versus having to go to the bank, pull the money out, then take the money through customs, they got to do what they got to do to it. And they might even hold my money for a couple of days.
Right.
And I see what you're saying.
And so now the only option, or up to today, the only option, as you said, would be to hold your money up a couple of days. If you wire the money, it could take up to 5 to 6 business days. It will actually be quicker to just put the money on a plane or a jet and transport into the wire. So this is what cryptocurrency is. A lot of people will notice the language in their banking, that read their banking statements that says now digital wallets. And digital wallets is different than electronic or wired transactions, to put it in short.
Man, that is a great explanation of what cryptocurrency is. I want you guys, I forgot to do this, guys, and I always like to show love when I use the 1 minute motivation videos. That came from Relentless Wolf Motivation on YouTube. So I want to give credit to that channel, Relentless Wolf Motivation. And I just put in the comments the link to that actual video. So if you guys want to go watch it on your own time, put it in your own playlist. Because that's one thing I do, man. I have a motivation playlist, right? I got some go-to stuff. Like I got a playlist that says, hey, this is the best to start my day. Because if you go on YouTube and you're using these playlists, they'll tell you, hey, start your day with this. And I have several different little ones that I start my day with. I always text them to my kids in the morning when I'm working out. So Motivational Wolf, motivation, a relentless wolf motivation is the channel. So we know that we are, and I like the way you put it. You said we are in a financial reset. You didn't say we're about to get into, you didn't say a financial reset is coming. And I think that's what people have to realize is that when you are a nation like the US and you have to do something that's going to impact everybody in the country at the same time, you can't just do that in a weekend, right? That has to, there's a lot of infrastructure changes that needs to take place. There's a lot of social engineering that needs to take place. So the media has to start talking about and really start conditioning the mindsets of the people to accept this new way. And that's what you're seeing right now with Bitcoin exploding. I wouldn't be surprised if the government and the systems had, okay, if it explodes and everybody and their mama gonna start talking about Bitcoin, right? So now people are being socially conditioned to say, hey, whatever Bitcoin is, I need to start learning about it and that kind of stuff. So when it comes to cryptocurrency, really quickly, just talk people through how they have to, what they have to do to access the ability to purchase the cryptocurrency. Okay,
and you have different platforms. You have some platforms that are considered as exchanges, meaning that you can never have ownership of the actual cryptocurrency itself, right? You can exchange it and you can liquidate it out for cash. Liquidate means to just cash out your capital gains to get actual cash, right? And so you have those exchanges that are somewhat popular known, or Robinhood, Cash App, and PayPal, right? And these platforms are also called fintech banking or financial technology companies, right? For example, those are the three most popular. But I prefer for people to purchase them on platforms in which you can actually own it, you can actually store it, and you can have what is called wallets, digital wallets. And it's something, a physical digital wallet would look like a USB, right? In which when you're typing, let's say on Microsoft Word, you can back up that document on a USB, right? Or you can back up that document on OneDrive. Such is the same in crypto world. You can have a digital wallets to back up your holdings and your investings, or you can have a physical ledger, right, in which you can back that up for security purposes. And I prefer the security purposes because you do have hackers on the worldwide internet versus an exchange in which you cannot have security backup and wallets connected to it in the event of preventing hackers being able to have access to your cryptocurrency investments.
Absolutely. I saw you post a couple days ago, and your posts are some of the most funny when you get really real. And sometimes we need people to just tell it to us straight, right? I tell it to them straight all the time. If you don't got a home-based business, you tripping, right? If you make 100% of your, let me see, because I heard a good mentor of mine say, if you work hard for every dollar you get, that's a sign that you're financially illiterate. So when you give it to them straight, I'd be cracking up. And you talked about as much as you encourage people to get into cryptocurrency, there is a group of people that you said should not be trying to buy no crypto.
Right.
So help us to identify those people. And then, I'm Mr. Optimistic. So then flip it on them and talk about what they need to do to change that situation so they can get into cryptocurrency. And then we're going to get into my answer for the question of the day.
You may be referencing the post in which I posted that if you have a 600 credit score and a 600 stimulus check, you may not need to be messaging me about Bitcoin, right?
Yes.
Interest rate that you're paying out on your bad credit is far going to exceed the gains that you will get by buying or investing in a fraction of a Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, I think Bitcoin was at 40,000 US dollars, right? And so when you put a small piece of hundreds and an asset that is at $40,000, you can purchase in fractions, but your gains are going to be so low. And so if you have bad credit, right, you're paying high interest rate to debtors. And like you said earlier, you could be paying that interest rate back to you or yourself. And so these are the people, this is where my book was birthed, The Queen of Crypto book, because I want to educate people on what to do. Like you said, the platforms that you should be purchasing in, and should you be looking to hold cryptocurrency for the long term, or should you be a trader and just trade? And so if, right, you don't have the reserve, you don't have the patience, you don't have the foresight for cryptocurrency, I hate it for you, because in this lifetime, people can position themselves to either create generational wealth or generational poverty by understanding cryptocurrency. But if you don't have the patience, the foresight, or the cash reserves to be able to put your money into a Bitcoin or what is called other altcoins to see that return on your investment, then this may not be for you, right? Because Bitcoin, for example, just approximately 5 days ago was at $40,000. We wake up today, it's taking a drop to 33,000. Now, the people that's holding, like myself, is not too excited about that, but I know this how it works in this crypto world, right? That you're going to see drops from 40 to 50%, sometimes 80%. But the people that want to get in, they're like, drop Bitcoin, drop, right? They want to get in because they know that this is predicted to be a $50,000 to $100,000 asset by the end of this year. And so you have to have the knowledge, the patience, and the foresight. But it's definitely here, people. It's definitely here. And when I reference fourth industrial revolution, a very simple way I can explain that is artificial intelligence, robotic technology. Michael Jordan, for example, on his golf course has drones delivering the drinks and the snacks. So in order, cryptocurrency has to come into play. And this biometric currency and decentralized finances has to come into play in order to get into, and that was an example of what I mean by fourth industrial revolution, or where we're headed, or where we are.
Yeah. I think that is an excellent explanation. And I want to give you guys the question of the day. And we have some people who answered the question of the day. Princess Anne says, I'm not investing, but Queen's video taught me about altcoins, right? I'm going to try that first. I told my parents to consider as a supplement to their traditional retirement plan. So I love that, man, that your work is reaching people and it's transforming the way they think, the way they see things. Anthony Munoz, good morning, brother. He says, I currently do not invest in cryptocurrency. Why not? I don't know much about it. And that's the name of the game. That's why we're here. It's so that you can get to know about it. You can learn a little bit. And this is by no means to make you an expert at the end of this show. But what it will do is, hopefully you guys are taking notes if you are in a position to. It should give you some things to start going to research. Like when she says decentralization, then if you don't know what that means, then go on YouTube and type in decentralization explained, so somebody can explain it to you, right? And she's talking about wallets and biometric currency. If y'all don't know what that means, then we're trying to give you enough game to get you on the path to go and do your own self-learning to become the professed expert, or at least know enough to hire someone to help you with this. So question of the day: do you currently invest in cryptocurrency? Why or why not? Every day on the Cortez Hustle Show, we do a question of the day, and I offer a question and I let my audience answer throughout the show, and then I give my answer. Now, I know your answer, Queen, but let's just say really quickly why, and then I'm gonna give my answer. I know you're already in the crypto space, but why did you jump in?
Okay. Why did I jump in?
Yeah.
I began to really look at crypto from the credit perspective. I was researching FICO 10. I knew that FICO 10 would affect millions of Americans' credit scores beginning in 2020 in the summer. And so I began to research how fintech companies and even cryptocurrency would begin to offer credit against the crypto. Like, wow, FICO 10 is going to be bigger than just a change of algorithm, right? When I say fintech companies, I'm speaking of companies like Affirm, Upstart. In Houston, Dallas areas, you have a lot of financial tech companies now that you can go and get loan and lending through in the credit world, right? And so I began to research even the cryptocurrencies that if you had possession of, they will give you credit against. Wow, this is these are got to be assets. If you can use these as collateral to get credit, this has got to be assets going into 2021, right? And so that's what got me started into the credit and crypto world, and to begin to research. And this is why I want people to understand, all of your viewers that's live and that will watch this on the replay, our entire global monetary system is changing. There will be no more dominating currency. Right now, our cash dollar I have is the U.S. reserve dollar. This will cease to happen. And when I say decentralized financing, I mean that there will be no more control of a centralized government. Everything will be local. People, I'm dropping so much moving forward, because as I said, either you're going to be a part of the generational wealth transfer, the more you understand about crypto and credit, or generational poverty in this lifetime, not the next lifetime. Every country, people will have its own digital currency pegged to the stablecoin. So, whereas Saudi Arabia, for example, oil used to only accept payment in forms of US dollar, that won't happen anymore. Everything is decentralized. No more centralization, right? No more centralization. And for those people that saying that I did get into altcoins, altcoins just mean alternative coins. It's not Bitcoins. Altcoins are diamond in the rough right now. So don't lose and say, oh man, Bitcoin is 33,000. Even if it gets to 25,000, Queen and King Cortez, I still can't afford it. Listen, there are a lot of altcoins right now, alternative coins that are still diamond in the rough. The number 2 altcoin, for example, outperformed Bitcoin by 600%. Bitcoin is right over 200%, right, of performance if you converted your cash into it. The number 2 altcoin return on investment, Cortez, was 600%.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. So question of the day, are you investing in Bitcoin? If not, why not? Right? So I have to tell you this, Queen, publicly in front of everybody. You just changed my mind. I do not invest in Bitcoin and here or any cryptocurrency. I've got a little in a while. Like sometimes I have, services, people pay me and they cash out me, and I'll just take that little money and I'll just go from Cash App and just buy Bitcoin with $20, $50, $100, whatever. Every time somebody pays me through Cash App, that's kind of been my mindset. Oh, if I receive a Cash App payment, then I'm just going to go ahead and buy some Bitcoin with. But here's why I do not, because I understand where we will be still, even after we go through this full transfer, and I invest all of my money into my skill set. Because I believe that at the end of the day, if the dollar died today and everybody had to use Bitcoin, guess who's going to end up with all the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency? The people who got skills to provide services, because y'all still going to have to go and buy what you need. So right now, I'm investing more into my personal skill set so that I can be able to sell products and services. And guess what? My websites are equipped to accept Bitcoin right now. So you can pay me in Bitcoin right now. So I saw that as my way of getting Bitcoin. But I'll tell you, when you said the credit aspect of the coin, where that's an asset that I could leverage to access capital to pour into my business, or to then take that and invest and buy other assets, that's not an angle I've ever looked at. Queen, we are at the top of the hour. Tell everybody about the book, and then tell them where they can connect with you. Facebook just blocked me trying to put your YouTube channel in, because y'all know they hate YouTube. But nevertheless, give them your IG, your YouTube channel, and tell them a little bit about the book before we close out.
Okay. My IG, across the board, YouTube, you can find me, Queen of Credit, right? Even on Facebook. I do have a Facebook business page as well. It's Credit and Cash Flow Conversations. But again, across the board, I'm Queen of Credit. You can find me. And my book release, a lot of people is asking about the book, inquiring about the book, where I will teach these concepts so people can know, right? You and I both believe in financial education for financial investing. So you can know what biometrics, cryptocurrency, or decentralized finances, and these diamond in the rough that's still available, right, for you to purchase. My book should be completed by the end of the day. There are so many more altcoins that every time I think I've typed my last page, I find this new diamond in the rough, and I said, well, let me make sure I put this in the book, right? And so they can find me there. Right now, my website is fixmycreditandandcash.com. And people just stay in tune to people like Cortez and I. We're trying to lead you out to the promised land, right? Because we want you on the other side of this equation in 2021. It's here. Cryptocurrencies is the future. It's not going anywhere, right? But get your financial education before you invest. Know what platforms, because Cortez, there are different platforms that you can get these different altcoins on. I see a lot of people reference, for example, Coinbase. Coinbase have some altcoins, but Coinbase doesn't have all the altcoins, right? There are actually gold-backed cryptocurrencies. And so, right, there's gold-backed cryptocurrency. There's gaming cryptocurrencies, altcoins for the gaming world, gaming industries. And so I have about 4 different platforms, because based on my research is what cryptocurrencies out of the 8,000 that I feel like will give me the greatest return on my investments.
Love it, love it, love it. You guys are listening to and learning from LaTanya DeLoach, aka Queen of Credit, on the Cortez Hustle Show. And that was the question of the day, people, from the Cortez Hustle Show. You know how much I respect and love your work. I appreciate you taking the time to come hang out with us today. If you guys got any value from the Queen, make sure you do two things for me. Go to her IG and follow her. Go to her YouTube channel and subscribe. Do those two things for me. And when you do, come back to this stream and just comment, Cortez, it's done. If you answer the question of the day, we're doing our drawing this coming Wednesday for the free vacation. There are dozens of locations for you to choose from. I don't have time to play that video for you. I'll play it for you guys on Wednesday. Tomorrow, you guys know that we do the St. Louis Hustle podcast with my girl, Michelle A. And I don't know what she has in store to connect and talk to us about. But make sure y'all right back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, so that we can continue this grind. Appreciate you. I see everybody saying love it, much respect. Thank you both. I appreciate all of that. Great show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with that, man, we are out of here. Until I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.